What's up everybody, the Blue Fang here, and today I'm back with a new what if for you guys. And yeah, but I know it's a pretty popular one, but I thought about tackling this one in my own words for a while. So to see if you guys would like another part to this what if, the like goal would be 210 likes for the next part. Now before we get into the background information, subscribe if you're new, hit the like button and turn on bell notifications. So with no further ado, let's get into the video. So for this what if, of course some things are going to be changed, and most importantly in this what if, it's going to be what had happened at the end of the Ninetales attack, specifically the talk Minato and Kushina had with Hiruzen when they were dying. So in this what if, as both Minato and Kushina are dying, Minato decides to ask Hiruzen if he can be able to make Naruto into a strong shinobi who work well for the Leaf Village. He would appreciate it if Hiruzen would carry his wish out after his death. Hiruzen nods his head and promises that he will look after Naruto's strength for the Leaf, and he has high hopes for the son of the 4th Hokage. He also says that he will try to maintain the secret of Naruto being a Jinchuriki and keep it to himself. Both Minato and Kushina smile, as Kushina then begins to tell Naruto the things that she hopes he will do and not do. A while later after that, they both die like in the original, and Hiruzen proceeds to get Naruto to safety. We cut to a day later when Hiruzen would meet up with the rest of the Leaf higher-ups and talk to them about the past attack of the Ninetales. Hiruzen would say that it would be good that Naruto being a Jinchuriki would be kept a secret, and also that he would train hard to become an exceptional ninja. Once Hiruzen finishes speaking, Danzo brings up that it would be better for the Leaf Village to know where the culprit of the attack is at the moment, meaning that he wants to tell everyone that the Ninetales is inside of Naruto, which he did leak in the original. But Hiruzen then says that the village can be fine to know another reason for the Ninetales' disappearance. He continues to say that they will tell the village that the Ninetales was sealed away someplace else, which he believes that the village would trust that statement. Danzo thinks about this and nods his head. As he thinks about the plan for overthrowing the Leaf, he realizes that if the village thinks that everything is peaceful and that there isn't any threat of the Ninetales around, he could do his shady work more easier without everyone being paranoid most days. So this time, Danzo doesn't think about leaking Naruto's secret and keeps it to himself. This would now mean that Naruto is safe of all the hate that he had in the original. So now we cut years later, around the time he is 5 years old. This would be the time Hiruzen starts to think of ways to make Naruto a very good shinobi. The reason he picked the time of when Naruto is 5 is because he remembers when another shinobi became a genin already by that age. The shinobi he is thinking about is Kakashi, which he would request for him to help on this Naruto becoming a great shinobi plan. Kakashi wouldn't hesitate to accept, as Naruto is his old sensei's child, so he then goes to find them. Kakashi would also be a jonin at this time, but Hiruzen has let Kakashi from dealing with any genin so that Naruto would have time for him. We cut to where Naruto is at the moment, which is at a small park playing with his friends. The friends would be Shikamaru, Choji, and Kiba. So because no one knows about Naruto having a demon fox inside of him, Naruto would have a normal life, except that he doesn't have any parents still. But usually parents from Shikamaru or Choji's families would let him stay with them for a while, since they don't want him to be lonely. So as Naruto continues to play some games, a person comes out of nowhere and appears right in front of him. Everyone is shocked at this, and Naruto jumps backwards frightened by this person. The person would be of course Kakashi, who greets Naruto by waving. Naruto decides to ask who he is, but Kakashi just says that he needs him to come somewhere else. Naruto immediately asks why, but Kakashi says that he'll explain it once he gets there. He then adds that it's the Hokage's orders. Naruto then nods his head as he trusts Hiruzen, because the Hokage usually visits him sometimes to help him out in some things. So Naruto says goodbye to his friends and heads with Kakashi to Hiruzen. Once Naruto gets there, Hiruzen explains everything he needs to know, which would be the details on why he's going to be trained to become a great shinobi, but still hiding the fact that he is the 4th Hokage's son. The way he does this is by telling Naruto that the Hokage's last wish for Hiruzen was that he has to choose a child in the next generation to train to become as strong as him, and also to maybe become the Hokage. Hiruzen continues to say that he thought that Naruto would be the best choice because of his resemblance of the 4th Hokage. Naruto, only being 5, just agrees to what Hiruzen says. So after that, Kakashi tells Naruto that it's time, so they head out and start their training. Hiruzen would also tell them that he would visit them a couple of times to train and give some tips to Naruto as well. But listening through the walls was Danzo, who had heard everything that was coming from the room that Hiruzen, Naruto, and Kakashi were in. So he then thinks of something that would work into place years later. So we then actually cut years later. This time Naruto would be around 10 years old. He had finished his training with Kakashi as well. The skills he had learned over the years would be slightly high-level taijutsu, some chakra control, and some jutsus, and overall being a skilled ninja. Kakashi gives a report to Hiruzen about how he didn't see any signs of the Nine Tails leaking out from Naruto when they did the training, which Hiruzen is pretty pleased to hear about. Naruto would also be at the level of a low-level jonin, but had promising skills to become higher. Now since Danzo had heard that Naruto had finished his training, he goes over to the Hokage office to ask Hiruzen something. As he finally enters, he decides to ask Hiruzen if Naruto could join the Anbu. Hiruzen is shocked at this, since he never knew that Danzo knew about Naruto's training. Danzo grins, and he says that if Hiruzen declines, he will tell the village about Naruto being a Jinchuriki. Hiruzen thinks about this, and then decides to ask Danzo about which Anbu with a serious face. Danzo answers saying that he thinks that Naruto would fit more on Hiruzen's Anbu instead of his. This is because Danzo thinks that Naruto doesn't have the kind of darkness like the rest of Danzo's Anbu members. But Danzo's plan is to kind of awaken Naruto's darkness one day and bring him over to his side, as he would get a good amount of Anbu training on Hiruzen's side just ready for Danzo's route. Hiruzen of course doesn't know about the plan, so he agrees to Naruto becoming an Anbu because he wants him to have the experience of a shinobi quite early, and also that he believes that Naruto would fit because he was trained by an ex-Anbu member. Another reason would be that he wants Naruto to stay by his side and be in his reach. He doesn't want to sign him into the academy, as he thinks that they will teach him slowly, which he wants Naruto's learning to go fast. So currently both Hiruzen and Danzo want Naruto to do what they want, but they just have different motives. So eventually, Hiruzen tells Naruto the news about him joining the Anbu, which Naruto is actually happy to hear about, as long as he can be closer to complete the fourth Hokage's wish. So it would take Naruto about 2 years for him to completely fit well into the Anbu, and now being 12 years old, he would be the second youngest person to join the Anbu. Also, he didn't do any missions for the first year, instead he just learned the basics. It was until he was 12 that he started to do missions like Hiruzen had planned. So for the first couple of missions, he just spied on some people who might have been plotting something dangerous. He also gave reports back to Hiruzen as well every time he had finished his mission. Also, in this period, Naruto was adapting to his new life, as his life was fairly normal before he got brought to the third Hokage. Naruto is also being able to have kind of a free life as well, able to meet his friends that are at the academy whenever he's off Anbu duty, but soon that fairly normal life would split apart. We cut to where Hiruzen is at the moment, and he had just gotten some news about someone stealing scrolls from his office. It wasn't just one scroll as well, it was two. One of the scroll was the scroll of sealing, and the other one was a scroll that had important information. He doesn't know who this person is, but his first thought is to send out Naruto as an Anbu member to catch whoever this thief is. He wants Naruto to be able to take down his first real enemy, to get some experience on how it's like to be in a real fight. So he sends some shinobi to retrieve Naruto and bring him to him, so he can tell him the news that is happening at the moment. Eventually, Naruto gets brought to Hiruzen and is told everything that's going on, and without hesitation, he gets into his Anbu equipment and goes to track down this mysterious enemy. He retraces the thief's steps from the Hokage office and is able to locate him thanks to the tracking training he got from Kakashi and his summonings. Once he sets his sight on the thief, he corners him successfully and goes to look at their face. Like in the original, it's Mizuki, but this time he has a slightly different motive for stealing the scrolls, because this time he was the one who went to steal the scrolls instead of him using an academy student like in the original. Naruto notices that this thief is a leaf shinobi and is shocked because they had betrayed the village and had stolen the scrolls. When Mizuki looks at the Anbu, he realizes by the yellow hair that it's of course Naruto behind the mask and grins. He then takes one of the scrolls and opens it to read it out. Naruto goes to attack him, but then stops when Mizuki reads out Naruto Uzumaki. Mizuki continues to read the scroll and goes on about the attack of the Nine Tails, and then eventually reads out about Naruto being the holder and Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails at the moment. Naruto is shocked by this and swipes the scroll out of Mizuki's hands to read it. He starts to shake and the scroll falls from his grasp. Mizuki then goes on to say things about how no one told Naruto anything about it, and how he is a demon and a monster. The same words that Naruto had heard in the original is being said by Mizuki currently. Naruto grits his teeth as he doesn't believe any of this, but he then remembers that the scroll is from the Hokage office, so of course it's real. Now he thinks about why Hiruzen didn't tell him this. He starts to get angry as well because Mizuki continues to say hateful words at him. Eventually Naruto has had enough and takes a sword from his back that is given to Anbu members and violently attacks Mizuki. He starts slashing him quickly while screaming for him to shut up and get out of his head. He continuously does this, but after nearly killing Mizuki, he stops. He stands in a pool of blood, angered about the truth he had just heard. Someone then begins to walk out to Naruto from the shadows. The person has a walking stick, so Naruto is able to hear them coming. He is about to attack since he's blinded by anger at the moment, but the person tells him that it's okay and also says to stop. Naruto places his sword down and looks to see who this person is. He sees Danzo Shimura, one of the Leaf higher-ups. Once Danzo has seen the bloody scenery that Naruto had just created, he grins. So this is the darkness that I was hoping for him to show. Danzo then lifts his hand up and points it to Naruto. Join my Anbu and protect the Leaf even though you have the 9 tails. I will accept you with no harm. Join me and I will not give you lies unlike that old fool Hiruzen Sarutobi. You can trust me, Naruto Uzumaki. And that's where I'm gonna end it off for today. Hopefully you did enjoy, and if you did, make sure to get this video to 210 likes for the next part. I really like the sound of this series so far, and I like the writing in it, so hopefully you guys can show it some support. So like always, subscribe if you're new, hit the like button and turn on bell notifications. It's been the Blue Fang, peace.